Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I want to take you through a list of 10 best British war movies of all time. 10 best British war movies of all time, ranked. As the nation that, for over a year, stood alone against Nazi Germany, British cinema made war, especially World War II, a cornerstone of its film industry. Considering its centuries of conquest, fighting on the European continent, and an era of military supremacy around the world, the country has a rich history to explore in the war genre. This has been proven consistently through film, from medieval battles to recent conflicts. British war movies stand out among the best in the genre, aided by the UK's extensive history of military campaigns that overshadow the US's relatively young history. Covering politics, covert missions, captivity, and full-scale invasions, some of Britain's contributions to war cinema are considered among the greatest films of all time. Featuring career-best performances, impressive attention to detail, and unmatched immersion, these movies are key chapters in both film and UK history. Number 10. Darkest Hour. Darkest Hour showcases Churchill's political fight. Darkest Hour focuses on Winston Churchill and his political fight in Britain to become leader of the Conservative Party after the weakness of Neville Chamberlain and his agenda of appeasement. With World War II ramping up and Hitler marching across Europe, Churchill attempts to rally Parliament to support his aggressive response, appealing to both the Labour opposition and those in his party. The film follows his leadership through to the botched invasion of Dunkirk, culminating in his famous "We shall fight them on the beaches" speech to Parliament, which cemented his role as Britain's wartime leader. Darkest Hour is viewed by many as the best look at the political turmoil surrounding Britain's early involvement in the war. It also highlights just how important Dunkirk and Churchill's speeches were in shifting the tide of opinion, with the skillful Prime Minister turning a crushing defeat into a moral victory that kept the country fighting on. Gary Oldman turns in one of his best performances as the embattled leader, with his final speech gripping audiences. Number 9. 1917. 1917 highlights the First World War. Set at the height of the First World War, 1917 follows two British soldiers, Schofield and Blake, who are ordered to carry a message calling off an attack that, if it proceeds, would likely spell defeat. After Blake is killed by a downed German pilot, the responsibility falls on Schofield alone to get the message to HQ. He continues his journey, running through the thick of battle and passing through towns ablaze to complete his mission. 1917 stands out for everything from excellent special effects to an immersive look at the war, but is best known for its long shots, with only 34 cuts in the entire film, a minuscule number in modern Hollywood. The First World War is typically ignored by the film industry for its slower pacing and less impressive technology than World War II, but 1917 managed to convey a fast-paced blockbuster epic, focusing on its lead in almost every shot. Number 8. Dunkirk. Dunkirk explores a defeat spun into victory. Dunkirk tells the story of the first British attempt to invade France following the German victory and occupation of the nation. Telling the story from the perspective of the ground forces, leadership, and Royal Air Force pilots, the movie explores how such an overwhelming invasion fell apart and how it was soon spun into a moral victory for the UK. Dunkirk is Christopher Nolan's first venture into the war genre, but stands out among his best films for its dedication to realism, stunning cinematography, and delivery of battle sequences. The film focuses on several characters trapped in a disastrous battle, following them from their landing to the evacuation back home. As great as the ground scenes are, the film is greatly elevated by its aerial sequences. Number 7. The Bridge on the River Kwai. The Bridge on the River Kwai is a gripping drama. The Bridge on the River Kwai focuses on a group of British prisoners of war under Japanese command in Thailand as they are forced to construct a railway bridge for the Imperial Japanese war effort. Led by the resilient Colonel Nicholson, the POWs initially refuse but, after enduring the brutality of the camp's commander, Sato, begin construction. As they do, Nicholson becomes almost obsessed with completing the bridge, with it becoming a source of personal pride. At the same time, an escaped prisoner leads a special forces mission back to the camp to destroy the bridge, drawing the ire of an irrational and obsessive Nicholson. The Bridge on the River Kwai explores the psychological effects of both war and captivity, with Nicholson's story arc being the most interesting part of the story. At the same time, the special forces mission towards the end of the film gives the war drama a sense of action, as viewers are left to empathize with Nicholson's inner conflict, while also wanting to see the Japanese forces fail. Number 6. Zulu. Zulu is an epic last stand. Zulu takes viewers to the heart of the Anglo-Zulu War, a conflict between the British Army in Africa and the native Zulu warriors. Starring Michael Caine as Lieutenant Gonville Brumhead, a second-in-command junior officer who underestimates the enemy warriors, the film focuses on the Battle of Rorke's Drift, a remote outpost. Under siege from the Zulus, the small force of 150 troops holds off an attack by 400 enemy warriors, making it one of history's most famous stands. Zulu is among the greatest of Caine's career and spotlights a chapter in history that often goes overlooked by the film industry, which prefers to focus on more recent conflicts. The character arc of Brumhead is one of the most important parts of the film, as he goes from dismissing the enemy's prowess to respecting them, embodying how Britain itself changed its perspective of the Zulus and other native warriors. Number 5. The Great Escape. The Great Escape is worthy of its name. The Great Escape takes place in a German-controlled POW camp, housing British, American, and other Allied soldiers. The film follows a variety of characters, but primarily focuses on Steve McQueen as Hiltz, a light-hearted American, Richard Attenborough as Roger Bartlett, who organizes and plans the escape, Charles Bronson as the claustrophobic tunnel digger, Walensky, and many more who play instrumental role in the escape. The Great Escape has two primary halves, beginning with the planning of the escape and ending with the attempt of those who made it out to make it out of German-occupied territory. With one of the most star-studded casts in film history, the movie has gone down as the definitive escape movie, with a memorable score, entertaining characters, and an engaging plot ripped from the pages of history. While technically an American production, the film's primary focus on British characters makes it a classic in Britain as much as the US. Number 4. The Battle of Britain. The Battle of Britain lionizes Britain's finest hour. The Battle of Britain was one of the most pivotal defenses during World War II and followed Germany's attempted invasion of the UK, beginning with aerial superiority. Had the British failed in defending their island, it would have resulted in occupation, preventing the Allies from mounting the invasion of D-Day and allowing the Nazis to fight on a single front. The battle itself was highlighted in the film of the same name, which follows the efforts of pilots from various countries who took to the skies to fight the Luftwaffe. The Battle of Britain quickly garnered a reputation as one of the all-time great aviation movies, with much of its screen time dedicated to showing the conflict in the skies. With real aircraft used to recreate the battle, the film showcases the ground operations and command, the pluck and courage of Royal Air Force pilots, and the contributions of pilots from other nations, like Poland. Number 3. Lawrence of Arabia. Lawrence of Arabia is classic cinema at its best. Lawrence of Arabia tells the story of T. Lawrence, a young lieutenant during the First World War who is ordered to assess the likelihood of Prince Faisal leading a victorious attack against the Turks. Despite protests from other officers, Lawrence advises the Arab forces on their best path to victory, resulting in a crushing defeat against the enemy. From there, he continues aiding the forces in their advance against the Ottoman Empire, a key point of the war. Widely considered to be among the finest films of all time, Lawrence of Arabia features stunning landscapes and expert cinematography. Featuring the talents of actors like Alec Guinness, Anthony Quinn, and Peter O'Toole, the movie is a classic work of cinema, one that manages to elevate a less-known chapter in the war to a true epic. Number 2. Master and Commander. Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World continues to be underrated. Based on the novels by Patrick O'Brian, Master and Commander tells the story of the crew of a Royal Navy frigate, HMS Surprise, during the Napoleonic Wars. Charged with intercepting and defeating a French privateer vessel, Acheron, Captain Jack Aubrey commands his ship through grueling battles with their enemy, whose firepower proves too formidable for confrontation. While a great cat-and-mouse story set on the high seas, the film explores the harsh conditions of life at sea during the early 19th century. Master and Commander went overlooked upon release, with many pointing to the blockbuster success of Pirates of the Caribbean as the reason it didn't pick up steam. However, it showcased Russell Crowe's acting range, Peter Weir's skills as a director, and the thrilling nature of the Napoleonic Wars. The film is an excellent look at naval warfare during its period, showing just how long and dangerous a mission at sea could be. Number 1. A Bridge Too Far. A Bridge Too Far is unmatched in its scale. A Bridge Too Far tells the story of Operation Market Garden, the Allies' plan to liberate the Netherlands, then Holland, from German control. In a mission that spans tens of thousands of men and one of the largest parachute jumps in military history, the British and Americans launch a three-pronged attack on the German-occupied region. Tasked with seizing 3 key bridges, the forces were broken down into smaller operations with an armored division and different airborne units involved. A Bridge Too Far is a brilliant feat of cinema, managing to alternate between dozens of characters in its truly epic story, which explores every front of the battle, including the German response. The production of the film included real performances of the airborne landings, utilizing military vehicles to ensure viewers were fully immersed in the battle. A joint Anglo-American production, few films have come close to surpassing the realism and ambition of Richard Attenborough's masterpiece. Thanks for watching our video. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel if this is the first time you are watching us. Thanks and God bless you. Have a nice day.